They've wrapped the truth in a veil so thick you forgot it was ever there. From the moment you could speak, the world began whispering into your ears, not to awaken you, but to lull you into obedience, into softness, into a life dictated by others. They told you the world was fair, that if you just followed the rules, you'd be rewarded, that if you were kind, life would be kind back. But look around, look closely. Does it look like kindness is winning? The ones who rise are not the meek. They are the architects of perception. They don't play the game, they write its rules, and they've made you believe your cage is a castle. But you're starting to see the cracks, aren't you? You're beginning to question the narrative. That's why you're here. That's why you've stayed this long. Because deep down, you've always known something was off. That the system is not broken. It's designed this way. Not to free you, but to keep you manageable, predictable, and powerless. You've been trained like a domesticated beast, taught to seek approval instead of authority. You were conditioned to feel guilt for your hunger, shame for your ambition, fear for your desire to lead. They told you ego was evil, that power corrupts, but they never told you what the absence of power does. Power doesn't corrupt, it reveals, and those without it are crushed, used, forgotten. Understand this now. The world does not belong to the righteous. It belongs to the unseen strategist, the one who understands that reality is not discovered, it is built. Reality is a sculpted illusion, and the sculptor is the one who commands attention without asking for it. You were not born to be a follower. You were born asleep, but now you wake up. Let me strip away the fiction they sold you. Power is not a crown. It's not wealth or status or physical dominance. True power is silent, invisible. It is the hand behind the curtain, the whisper behind decisions that look like coincidence. The truly powerful don't shout. They design the silence around others. You don't control people by force. That's old, that's primitive. You control through perception, by crafting what others think is real. The mind is the battlefield now, and the most effective weapon, words, not just what you say, but how, when, and what you refuse to say. Words are the architecture of belief. Speak not to inform, but to direct emotion. Emotion is the remote control of the human mind. But before you speak, before you influence, before you manipulate the room, first, you must become unreadable. Never let them know your angle. Let them guess, let them assume, and let those assumptions lead them exactly where you want them. This is the art of invisible direction. When people think they chose the path, they walk it without resistance. And that is control, not through domination, but suggestion. You don't need to confront. Confrontation is the tool of the amateur. Instead, you maneuver. Subtlety is your language now. You let others expose themselves, while you remain the observer. You listen when they overshare. You nod while they reveal their insecurities. Every word they give you is ammunition they didn't know they surrendered. And you never fire it all at once. You wait. You let the silence do the work. Stillness is not weakness, it's preparation. Every second you wait while they talk is a second you gather control. In a world addicted to expression, the one who holds back becomes mysterious, and mystery, my friend, is power in liquid form. Let them project strength onto you, intelligence, danger. Even if you say nothing, especially if you say nothing, they'll invent your legend for you. All you have to do is leave enough blank space. People are not led by logic. They are steered by emotions they cannot name. They want to be told who they are. They want someone to guide them through the noise. And when you offer clarity, no matter how false, it becomes truth in their eyes. Speak with certainty, and you become the voice in their storm. Let others chase facts. You deliver narrative, because the one who frames the story owns the truth. But remember, never let them see the strings. Influence, real influence, is like gravity, felt but never seen. You don't tell people what to think. You shape the options so every choice leads back to you. You become the destination hidden in every road. This is not deception, this is design. People need validation like oxygen, and they'll serve whoever supplies it. Praise is a leash, flattery is a drug. Give it freely at first, make them addicted, then take it away. Let them starve for your approval. They'll work harder than ever just to taste it again, and they'll never notice that you now own them. control the reward, and you control the behavior, not by force, but by hunger. Starve them, feed them, starve them again. This is how loyalty is forged, not in trust but in emotional dependency. You don't need to punish. People will punish themselves to stay close to the source of what they crave. Guilt, too, is a tool. When people feel they've disappointed you, they will bend backwards to earn forgiveness, and they'll betray their own needs to keep your approval. You don't have to push, just look disappointed. Just say, "I expected more from you." That's all it takes. The rest, they do to themselves. And fear. Fear is your scalpel, not overt fear, not threats, implied consequences, the hint of what could go wrong, the whisper of what might happen if they choose wrong. The mind fills in the blanks with horrors more effective than anything you could have said. Ambiguity breeds anxiety, and anxiety breeds obedience. But here's the part they won't expect. Hope is your sharpest weapon. Hope keeps people moving even when the path leads nowhere. You offer just enough light to keep them walking, just enough reward to keep them crawling back. You promise tomorrow, never today. Keep the dream alive and they'll never see the cage. Now listen closely. If you want to rise, you must learn to disappear. The greatest rulers in history weren't on the throne. They placed others on it. You don't need to be king. You just need to own the crown, the room, the advisors. Let others take the fall. Let others wear the target. You remain the phantom, the ghost behind decisions, the invisible hand no one dares to strike. Never be the face of your power. Faces get remembered. Faces get blamed. Be the system. Be the process. Be so essential that removing you would collapse everything. That's real control. Not being noticed, but being necessary. And when you move, move once. Move decisively, then vanish. Never explain. Never linger. Make your presence felt, not seen. The most dangerous power is the one you can't prove, the one they whisper about but can never name. Now you understand why legends outlive kings. The ones who spoke least, who revealed nothing, who gave the world mystery in place of explanation. They are remembered, not for what they said, but for what they left unsaid. You don't need to be understood. You need to be felt. You don't need to be loved. You need to be remembered. Detach from your need for approval. Let go of your desire to be liked. These are chains. Chains handed to you by those who benefit from your silence. You must become immune to praise, deaf to insult, and indifferent to understanding. When you master yourself, you master everything. So now, I ask you, not what you want. That's irrelevant. Everyone wants something. But what are you willing to become to get it? Are you willing to be silent while others scream? Are you willing to vanish while others fight to be seen? Are you willing to walk away from the comfort of visibility into the cold efficiency of control? Because the ones who shape the world don't march in the parade. They design the route, they place the confetti, they build the stage, and when it's over, they're already gone, on, to the next illusion, the next story, the next reality. You're not here to play fair, you're not here to follow, you're here to write the rules they don't even know they're playing by. Power isn't about standing at the top, it's about pulling the strings from the shadows. This was your beginning, your first true lesson, not in cruelty, not in manipulation, but in design, and now that your eyes are open, you can never go back. You've stepped through the veil, you've seen how the world really works. So walk carefully, think quietly, move intentionally, and always remember, control isn't taken, it's crafted. They've conditioned you to believe that power is reserved for the elite, that influence is a birthright rather than a skill. But the truth is more nuanced. Power isn't bestowed, it's constructed layer by layer through understanding and manipulation of perception. In a world saturated with information, the ability to control narratives becomes the ultimate form of dominance. From the moment you're born, you're inundated with societal norms and expectations. These constructs are designed not to empower you, but to confine you within predefined boundaries. You're taught to seek approval, to conform, to suppress your innate desire for control. But what if you could break free from these chains? What if you could learn to navigate the intricate web of societal expectations and emerge as a silent architect of influence? The first step is to recognize that perception is malleable. People don't see the world as it is, they see it as they are. Their beliefs, experiences, and biases color their interpretation of reality. By understanding this, you can begin to craft the narratives that shape their perceptions. This isn't about deception, it's about strategic presentation. Consider the power of silence. In a society that values constant communication, silence becomes a powerful tool. It creates a vacuum that others feel compelled to fill, often revealing more than they intend. By mastering the art of silence, you can control conversations without uttering a word. Next, understand the importance of emotional intelligence. Emotions drive decisions more than logic ever will. By tapping into the emotional undercurrents of those around you, you can guide their actions subtly and effectively. Empathy becomes a weapon, allowing you to anticipate reactions and adjust your strategies accordingly. Moreover, learn to observe without judgment. Every interaction, every reaction, provides insight into the inner workings of those around you. By becoming a keen observer, you gather the data necessary to influence outcomes. This observational prowess becomes your foundation for constructing influence. In the realm of influence, consistency is key. People are drawn to those who exhibit unwavering confidence and consistency. By presenting a stable and consistent persona, you become a pillar in the chaotic lives of others, making them more likely to follow your lead. Additionally, understand the power of scarcity. When something is perceived as scarce, its value increases. By controlling access to your time, knowledge, or resources, you enhance your perceived value. This scarcity creates demand, positioning you as someone of importance. Furthermore, master the art of framing. The way information is presented significantly impacts how it's received. By framing situations to highlight benefits or minimize drawbacks, you guide others toward desired conclusions without overt persuasion. It's also crucial to build alliances strategically. Align yourself with individuals who complement your strengths and compensate for your weaknesses. These alliances extend your reach and amplify your influence, creating a network that supports your objectives. Remember, true power often lies in the shadows. Those who wield the most influence are not always in the spotlight. They operate behind the scenes, pulling strings and shaping outcomes without drawing attention to themselves. By embracing a low-profile approach, you can maneuver without resistance, achieving your goals with minimal opposition. Finally, commit to continuous learning. The landscape of influence is ever evolving, and staying ahead requires adaptability and a thirst for knowledge. By remaining a student of human behavior, psychology, and communication, you refine your skills and maintain your edge. In conclusion, power is not a static entity bestowed upon a select few. It's a dynamic construct, accessible to those willing to understand and manipulate the perceptions of others. By mastering silence, emotional intelligence, observation, consistency, scarcity, framing, strategic alliances, subtlety, and continuous learning, you position yourself as a silent architect of influence, shaping the world from behind the scenes.